Here at Oxford Comic Con 2018, a group called Bring Back Retro have constructed an amazing setup of classic video games, including several well-known competitive titles, which has given me the idea to talk about an interesting fact about the type of monitors they are using.
You can notice, despite us living in the 21st century of HD, 4K, and amazing graphics, we're using fun TVs from the 90s. There's a reason for this.
One issue comes from the difference between their native resolutions. Older televisions were 4:3, while today's HD TVs are in a 16:9 widescreen resolution. An example of this issue is this image here of Zelda: Link to the Past. The Super Nintendo used a display resolution of just 256 by 224, compared to the standard 1080 television resolution today of 1920 by 1080. You can see the clear difference. So if you try to display an older console on a new television, it tries to stretch this image to make it full screen, which can be at least 1.5 times as wide, and sometimes zooms out the image. This can potentially cut off good portions of the top and bottom, possibly hiding essential information like your inventory, and more horribly, the amount of lives you have left before it's game over.
Yeah, it doesn't pick up as well, and it certainly doesn't look as good either.
So, a lot of competitive gaming teams, if you ever go to like big events in the States and stuff when they're still playing Melee and other of the early games, they will still be using these types of televisions for the entire reason of basically counteracting old technology versus how newer screens have sort of warped that same feeling.
Additionally, one of the most important reasons for competitive players is the input lag. Older CRT televisions, due to their analog setups, would have an input lag of about 3 to 4 milliseconds. However, digital LCD setups on modern televisions and monitors have an input lag of around 8 milliseconds. And additionally, televisions would have a larger display lag, especially when upscaling the old analog console outputs. This might not seem like a big deal, but if you're playing a competitive game or in a tournament where making precise measure responses timed perfectly makes the difference between your victory and a defeat, it can be a complete game changer.
It's always quite interesting to sort of look back at old-fashioned monitoring systems, how even though in today's 21st century continuously evolving landscape when it comes to technology, especially in our entertainment industry, when you see AAA gaming companies talking to you just about how we have like the best graphics in our game and how we have all these new innovations to make it look 4K and amazing, and you come to places like this and you go to other events of such and they're still using the same TV I had when I was 3 years old, and that's something interesting you might not have known.
Pretty much non-profit entirely. We do private events, but that's different. But we raise money for the Ipswich Hospital because they get quite underfunded on the sort of lesser-known, smaller hospitals there. We do a 24-hour event, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time, I believe. We're staying up for 24 hours. The whole thing will be live-streamed. There'll be speed runs of games. Myself, I'm doing all of the BioShock games. Chris is doing OOT run for Zelda, which is about 6 hours.
Nice.
So the whole thing 24 hours, friends coming in, so if anyone wants to, they're more than welcome to tune into it. So.
For you guys back at home, there will be a link for that in the description below. Do check it out. That's Cosplay. Thank you as always.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.